We good? Bob, start off.
Well, Eric, the release on your surgery said you'd be out, expected out at least 2 games. You obviously beat that by a game. How'd you come back so fast? You know, why did you decide to come back so fast? How do you feel?
Well, Saturday, Saturday's the worst day I've ever had, and I just made a decision, you know, being off the pain medication was gonna determine how quickly I came back. You know, normally people are on, you know, the pain medicine for a week or so. I think that's how we kind of determined and talked about missing at least 2 games, maybe anywhere from 2 to 6. Having said that, on Saturday I made a decision when I woke up that I didn't want to take any more pain medicine, and you know, Dr. Cox cleared me basically Sunday, I guess.
You said Saturday was the worst day physically, or why was it, or because you had to miss the game? What made it the worst day?
I was just throwing up all day and needed 2 IVs, and I never had felt like that at all. I felt bad.
How'd you feel during the game? How'd you think it all went? How do you feel right now? Are you pretty wiped out? Or?
I've been tired of, you know, I was with the team, you know, at shoot around. I was with them yesterday at practice. Just, you know, still a little hard to sleep, but that doesn't, you know, it is what it is, and you just roll with it.
You guys won. I mean, how'd you feel like it went? How do you feel right now?
Yeah, I thought our second half was phenomenal. You know, holding them to the shooting percentage that we did in the 20s, holding them to 19 points. You know, really good defensive discipline in the second half compared to the first half. I thought we took care of the ball a little bit better in the second half, which alleviated some live ball turnovers that I thought really hurt us in the first half. And obviously not having Jay Will and JD in that first half, you know, drastically alters, you know, how we're gonna play. They're both aggressive defenders. Jay Will, because he takes charges and will try to block shots, and JD obviously on the ball likes to reach. So just did not want those guys to, you know, to pick up a 3rd foul heading into halftime.
Scott?
Because I don't think there's any doubt that Jalen's probably playing the best ball of his career right now. Do you feel like maybe we're watching him make his star turn, maybe the perfect time for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, he's been so, you know, such a vital factor early in the year. It was obviously the passing. It's obviously always been the charge taking and clogging up the middle for us and being a force on the defensive backboards. Now he's continues to make our offense run smoother. You saw that in the second half. His conditioning's the best that it's been since I've been around him, so he's able to play a full 20 minutes in the second half if we need that. You know, it's certainly his offensive game is starting to improve as well. You know, we had 256 passes tonight, which is a large number. So I think some of these things that we've been talking about since the summer, you know, in the last, you know, 3 games, and I know Coach Smart even mentioned the last 4 or 5 games, you know, we've done a much better job of grasping concepts and then going out and executing them.
Coach, you mentioned JD and Jalen being in foul trouble in the first half. Was there any temptation at all to put them in at any point, or did you kind of fully trust that y'all would keep it close enough to, you know, within striking distance for the second half?
Yeah, no, I mean, we just kind of done that. Hutch, we did it in Nevada, although these 2 guys didn't yell at me. Caleb and Cody Martin would yell at me, tell me to put it back in. But you know, I felt as long as that thing was 10 or under, I don't know what I would have done if it would have gotten to 11 or 12, but that was what was going through my mind at the time, that if we could just survive this thing and get in to halftime under double digits, that we would come out in the second half and make a couple adjustments and then play a little bit better than we had.
Coach, it's 3 games in a row now on these wins that you've held the opponents under 60 points and into low shooting percentages. I guess what's changed on the defensive end of the floor, and do you think that's kind of the identity of this team?
Yeah, I mean, I think certainly, Curtis, any good team has to be good defensively. Like if you want your season to be meaningful, you've got to be good defensively. I think it's just a matter of them seeing the film and understanding, hey, if we do this, A, B, and C, we can have success, and when we don't do it that way, maybe there's not some success. So I think, even in our couple of our losses, like if you went back and just looked at the recent losses and just looked from a scheme standpoint, they were doing much better than we were even when we were winning games early on. So we still got a long way to go. We got to figure out a way to play well Saturday. And, I think that the focus of the team is better the last 3 weeks than it has been all year.
And then with the free throws attempted tonight, obviously South Carolina's a physical team, fouled quite a bit. You guys get to the line a lot. How important was it to get that number up to 33?
I mean, it was really important, paint points, attacking the rim, not settling, all those things become really, really important for our identity and who we are.
Coach, I don't know if you're aware of the streak, but this is the first time in 33 years Arkansas hadn't made a three-pointer. Were you aware of that? And then also, what's it say about your team that you can go a game without making a three and still win by 16?
Yeah, it probably doesn't happen often but it also teaches our guys a lesson that we can win a game by double digits without making a three. It's not like we didn't take any, or we came into the game and said, hey, don't even attempt them. When you're 0 for 11 and you're getting free, you're drawing FTAs by attacking the rim. I mean, the object of the game is to win. I had heard rumblings about the record with about 1.5 minutes to go, but I mean, you gotta play the game to finish it and win it the right way.
Bob?
Eric, I guess you guys had an 18-1 run coming out of halftime. Obviously, Jalen and JD being back in the game, I'm sure impacted that, but what do you think was the key to that?
Yeah, I mean, we just talked about, there's been some stretches during this year, last 3 minutes of the first half, we gotta play better basketball, and then, I thought, last year we did such a great job coming out of halftime a lot, or having great second halves, and we had to get back to that, understanding how to finish games, understanding when you come out in the second half for your own personal warm-up, it's gotta be a focused warm-up. And then we talked about trying to take away airspace on the three. We gave up way too many threes the first half. We're able to kind of show them where the threes were coming, that we were a half step off. We didn't have our hands high enough. So just a couple of those things and continuing to rebound the ball. Like you don't want a blown save, meaning you get a defensive stop and then they get an offensive rebound. We call that a blown save. And then if they do get an O board, how do you use your verticality to try to make a putback a little bit more difficult? And I thought once we did that, even on some of their offensive rebounds, they struggled to convert because we didn't quit on the play. We went vertical, tried to make them shoot over an extended hand, tried to make them play in a crowd off offensive rebounds.
I think a lot of people, myself included, I'd still be popping those paint pills and, be in La La Land or whatever. I mean, what is it about you that made you, after a couple, I guess after really one day, decide to stop taking them, even though you were feeling crappy, obviously?
Yeah, I just did. I didn't feel good. I didn't feel myself. I was like nausea. And then when I went off them, it became even worse. So just, I didn't like it.
I mean, how do you feel right now?
Like someone's taken a nail to a certain spot in my shoulder, and they're just. But it's okay. It's been like that since December 2nd. Doesn't feel any worse. Doesn't feel any better than it did the day Trey ran into me.
Scott?
Coach, Deke had 5 offensive rebounds tonight. I think this is the most he's had since you guys were in Kansas City. Do you feel like he's getting back into a rhythm in terms of like his activity, and also is he okay? I think he missed like close to the last 6 minutes of the game.
Yeah, he was fine. We just went back. He got frustrated and committed a foul and didn't have his hand up on a 3 ball. But he's been playing, really good basketball. He's such a hard cover because all the stuff that Adisi does are not anything that's a play call or we're manufacturing for him. He just kind of goes and gets it on his own, which when you have a player like that, it makes it a lot easier to coach than you're trying to move pieces around and try to get him shots or help him be effective.
Final question, Bob, so we can get him on.
After being 0-3, now you're 3-3, back to 500, got another home game. Just how do you feel about how you guys have bounced back and kind of where you guys are right now in the league race, and just how you're playing?
Yeah, I mean, I think, our whole objective is like, how do we worry about our next game? We're never going to be a team that you know, that feel sorry for ourselves. We're never gonna be a team that doesn't compete. You know, we took our energy level to a new level the last few games. And we need to continue that. We need to understand and respect all of our opponents and respect them for 40 minutes. And I think that's been a mature process for this group. And I think right now they are understanding that.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, everybody.